before I started, I always would like to know how thick the bottom is before I trim it. Again, I'm gonna just show you using my measuring tool. So this one, there are two slots, one here and one on the side. So basically, you put in one in the very center, and you get a reading. I already checked it, so it's a 159, and then I can pull out and then put it on the outside part, and I can check the reading is 167. So 167 minus 159 is about 8. So before I start to trim, I know exactly how thick the bottom is. It's 8 millimeters, so I am going to go maybe 3 or 4 to leave the bottom part, 3 or 4 millimeters, meaning I'm going to go in 4 or 5. Okay, 4 or 5. Going down 4 or 5. Okay. But before I go further, I like to check how far I have gone through. So this is about 3. I have 8, so I could go. Let's go 5. So I have 2 more to go. Right, and then I'm bringing my number 2. So the number 2 has a good corners, so I can take care of the corners here. Right, so I go about 5, meaning I'm leaving this part here 3. 3 actually is 4 because when you measure, there is a thickness of the this ruler too. This is 1 millimeter, so actually I'm leaving this part 4 millimeters. That should be fine. So I'm doing the heavy lifting using my carbide tool. Now the very final stage, I'll bring back my stainless steel tool so that the surface will be nice and smooth. So after remove quite a bit of a clay, and now it's much lighter. And I told you that I start with 5 pounds of clay on the body, and let me weight it. Okay. So this weighed about 2 pounds and 13 ounces. So almost half of the weight. Okay, so I decided to put 2 handles here. And I pulled the handle and roughly cut it, and now I'm trying to find the right location. So what I did was put in some water on the handles, and then try to put it on the spot so I can find my spot. And then find the right location, and let it sit for a while. Now I'm ready to joint. So making sure it is straight so that the crossover is straight before I compress it firmer. So the other side of the handle, so turn my wheel so you will be able to see from that camera. So I score it. And score my handle. I'm using the hacksaw blade, using the teeth to score it. Right, so that looks fine. So I will compress it further. So usually you could roll a small coil to reinforce the joint spot, making a small coil. So I will let it sit for maybe 5-10 minutes so that this part become a bit firmer, and then come back and then smooth it. But for now, I'll just leave it alone. And this part here is a little bit firmer, so I could use the tool to smooth it out. Right, so that's the joint of the handles. I tend to like to reinforce the top because the way it's pulling it down, so adding a little bit of clay there make the handle a little bit more stronger. So that's the kimchi jar, the fermenting crock with handles. And also I did a little bit reinforcement here before I attach the handle. I actually get a smaller piece of trimming tool and go here and kind of trim a little groove even inside that the little fountain. So when my lid is going in, it's going nowhere. Okay, it sits right in the center. So the water is going, and then the lid is kind of fitting into the groove. So it's a very tight fit. Okay, very tight fit. So that's what I have done for this jar. Okay, so thanks for watching.